All right, FightHype.com here with Larry Wade. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing great, man. But listen, man, I don't know why you got me behind this white panel wall like I'm going to jail or some shit. That's not cool. But everything is well, bro. But I'm not getting locked up, just so y'all know.
That was the best spot we could find, man. We in the gym, man. How training camp been going for you guys?
Man, it's been amazing, man. You know, I know coaches say that all the time, but for me, it's been particularly amazing because I've had the opportunity to see Rolly grow up, develop. You know, as a kid that went from 6 rounds to 12 rounds, so he didn't have an opportunity to gradually evolve into it. He catapulted himself into this position like he's done in anything else. And so for me to actually see him start growing, showing a high level of professionalism, which is really important to be successful in this game, it's been amazing. And you see it in his performance so far as well.
Gotcha. Now, when I got a chance to watch Rolly his workout just now,
yes,
you know, he does a lot of things extremely awkward, but he has a lot of power as well.
Absolutely.
Can you kind of explain to everybody how difficult it is to prepare for somebody that's completely awkward in left field?
Well, here's the thing. How can you prepare for someone that doesn't even know what they're going to do? You know, when you watch a fighter, they have certain tendencies, and you can watch for those tendencies. But with Rolly, there isn't any. It's always organic. It's always new. And he does give off the structured movements as a jab, hook. They're just from a different angle. They're not the structured way that people will want to see them in. But it's going to be really difficult to defend against that.
Now, a few weeks ago, actually, Rolly did say that he doesn't believe that Tank can really box. He can't really box backwards, moving backwards. Is that something you agree with, or you're not really too sure?
I think a guy like Tank can adjust and do a lot of different things. I don't think a lot of times he hasn't had to. He's been the aggressor. So when you're the aggressor, a lot of times you don't get to see him moving off the back foot. But I'm definitely not going to hang my hat on that for that to be the reason or the cause of why he's going to have problems that night. I think the problem is going to be much more than if he can just go backwards or not.
Can you give me a list of things that Javonte does extremely well and some of the things that you guys had to make sure that you watched out for while you was in camp?
Well, here's the thing. I think the biggest mistake that people make is putting so much emphasis on what another person does opposed to the things that they do. He definitely does a lot of good things, or he wouldn't be a 2-division, or I think even possibly 3-division world champion. So he's had to do some good things. So we understand that he's a good boxer. I'm not taking anything away from his ability. What I'm saying is I'm focusing on my boxer. My boxer should be focusing on himself as well. Why? Because that's how you win. Focusing on somebody else makes you look forward to what they're going to do and even get you caught up.
You know, Gervonta fought Leo Santa Cruz, who's a possible Hall of Famer. He went up in weight. He fought Mario Barrios. But do you believe that Rolly is actually the most, the strongest guy he's ever fought?
Absolutely, hands down. Hands down. There's
even Mario Barrios?
Hands down. There's no question about that. That's not even something that's up for debate. And I would get so passionate if I didn't believe it. Listen, this is what I do for a living. You know, I don't get to the point in my life and my career not knowing what I'm looking at. By far, Rolly is the strongest and the most explosive fighter that Tank has run into up to this point. And with Leo Santa Cruz, he's definitely going to be a Hall of Fame boxer. But what Leo Santa Cruz is known for is his conditioning, him being constantly, accumulation of punches and having a lot of heart. And that's what's got him to this point. But what he's not necessarily known for is throwing power punches. He breaks guys down and he beats guys, and he's a wonderful person. So I'm never going to take anything away from him. But I think by far this is the toughest, strongest fighter that Tank has been in the ring with.
Well, the reason I had to ask you that, because remember, he did go up to 140 pounds to fight Mario Barrios, who's a lot bigger than him. But you still believe that Rolly is a bigger puncher than Barrios?
Hands down. Hands down.
Wow.
It's not even something for debate in my eyes.
Gotcha.
And Barrios is an amazing fighter too. I'm not taking anything away from him either. And I think, in my opinion, and understand I'm not in his team, but I think Barrios was doing a wonderful job in that fight. I mean, all the way until the end, until he got caught. I think he was doing a wonderful job. I feel as if...
Did you have him winning at the time?
Excuse me?
Did you have him winning at the time?
I did. If I didn't have him winning, I had it close. The same way with Leo Santa Cruz. I had Leo Santa Cruz actually winning at the time. And, Tank did what he did. So you can never sleep on a young man like that. And me saying what I'm saying about Rolly by no means is that to attack Barrios or Leo Santa Cruz, because I think they're both amazing fighters. I'm just focusing on the things that my fighter can do.
Do you think Gervonta is going to be surprised by, either Rolly's power, his boxing ability? What do you think is going to surprise him the most?
You know what? I don't really put a lot of, energy into focusing on what he's going to be surprised with. I think what he's going to realize real soon is this isn't going to be a cakewalk, that the fight not going to be the type of fight that he may want it to be, because you got a guy in front of him who can athletically do a lot of things that can deter you in a lot of ways, and so he's going to have to make adjustments. It's not going to be him simply walking in and let me get him out. It's going to be, I got to work for this.
Granted, Gervonta did get a little bit of criticism when he fought Isaac Cruz. He did hurt his hand, but he did get a little bit of criticism for it. Yeah. How did you kind of view that fight? Did you view it as a good performance? Did you view it as a shaky performance? How did you view it?
You know, I was in the front row actually in LA at Staples Center when it was Staples Center, and so I had the opportunity to see him in camp at that time because he came in for about 2 weeks of Sean Porter's camp, and I went to watch it because that same weekend was when Rolly was supposed to fight him. So I went to just, you know, be there to support my guy Barry Hunter, who was working the corner at that time. And so as I was watching it, I felt like he put on a good performance. I think the problem is he didn't do what the fans wanted him to do. The fans wanted to see another knockout. The fans wanted to see one of those glorious moments, and they didn't get that. What they saw was a guy who put up a lot more resistance than they expected, and that resistance, instead of it lifting Pitbull and saying, hey, he did, you know, a great job, it kind of attacked him like, oh, he just did a piss poor job. No, that guy just did well. It didn't like that he did bad. Tank fought well. He just fought better than what they expected. And I think that happens a lot of time in sports. When a guy doesn't do what you want him to do or what you expect him to do, you automatically and you instantly say he did a piss poor job when he didn't. The other fighter just fought better.
Gotcha. Now, Javonte has fought guys like Pedraza, who tested him with his boxing ability.
Right.
He's fought guys like Cruz, like we just said, who tested him with his ability to pressure. But do you believe Javonte has ever been tested with the guy in terms of punching power? Do you believe his chin has ever been tested?
No. He's never been tested with a guy that can hit like Rolly.
Gotcha.
He's never been in touch. I mean, he's been in some champions. Don't misunderstand. And once again, it's not to take away from any of those guys. Those guys are great. It's a different type of fighter, right? That's like comparing cars, you know, between a Lamborghini and a Ferrari. They're both great cars. They're both fast. So one doesn't make it better than the other. It's all about preference. So those guys did a great job. I just feel like at this point, the type of power and the type of strength that he can bring, that Rolly has shown that he can bring into this ring, can give people problems.
Gotcha. And just last thing for me, can I get an official prediction on how you see it playing out? You don't have to give me a round or anything like that, but just how do you see it playing out?
Knockout.
Appreciate you, brother.